Today we are at the Ramirez Training Center in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm visiting with Georgina Ramirez, who just finished showing at the Scottsdale Arabian show, and she's invited us to come and get a little sneak peek behind the scenes and visit their training facility, and maybe we'll even hear a few secrets and how they win all the championships. And they won a lot of ribbons at the last show, so we are just so delighted to be here. So Georgina, how many horses do you have right now? It looks like a lot.
Yeah, I think there's about 75 horses here on the property. Definitely 75. We might be getting more. You just never know at horse facilities. You can always, they come and they go.
Mm-hmm. And you are boarding here so people could board their horse with you? Or do you have to be in training to board your horse here?
So some of them are like brood mares. So if people have their horse in foal, or we have just some horses, the occasional horse that boards, but we try not to take too many horses that board because a lot of people do want to train, and we want to make sure we have the space for everybody to be on the property and, you know, get their horse trained and done with. So we try not to take too many people that board.
So do people bring their horses from all over the country? Or are you more local for the Southwest?
I think we're a little more local because everybody tends to kind of know us from either horse shows and things like that. So I think everyone tends to be a little more local. We don't really have anyone out of the country. Not yet, but yeah.
Okay, well, everybody's talking about you. And you have a nice big cheering section as well.
We try to keep the support in and try to be there for everyone. It's always nice to have that for your barn.
You have a beautiful facility here.
Thank you.
All the horses look so well cared for.
Thank you.
And then for training, how long does it take to train a horse? From the beginning, if you have a horse that's green, do you start the colts as well? Do you start them from being like never ridden?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes. Yep. So basically, if they do come out to us like at the ripe age of 2, that's usually when everybody wants to get their horse trained. Mm-hmm. So we do usually kind of start them with like a lot of ground training. So we'll put them in like the surcingle, and we'll do some groundwork with them, whether we're turning or just things like that, stopping, things like that. And then we'll get them to put on a saddle. And at first we'll just kind of lunge them with the saddle because it's a new feeling on their back. Mm-hmm. And we'll slowly kind of make our way almost mounting. So we'll just kind of do basic stuff. So from the ground up, we'll just kind of either grab the saddle and put our foot in and just give them a little thought for it, and then come back off. And when they get confident enough, then we fully get on. And then from there, it's kind of just baby steps. We just let them kind of walk around, and then we'll trot them, and then you work on their cantering, things like that. So yeah, you definitely have to start them slow, give them a good experience every time.
Well, it sounds like you take your time with them.
Yes.
And you're not rushing them through.
Oh no, yes. You have to make sure that our babies are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They're all so young, and they retain everything like a sponge. Yeah.
And then when you start showing your horses, are they around the age of 4?
You know what? It depends. Sometimes you get a really good, solid horse from the get-go, and they're 4 and it's ready to show. We can have an amateur show it or a junior to ride, whatever it is. But a lot of the times you kind of want to wait maybe a little bit. Techniques and stuff, you always want someone that knows what they're doing. So it's kind of just depends on what kind of horse you have. Some horses will do it, and some horses you just have to wait. It's just the patience game.
So do you see shows where there's classes with older horses? Like how old do you show horses then? If they start, some can start at 4, some take a little longer. Is there an age they top out?
You know what? I don't think so. If your horse is just willing to show and just has a good attitude about showing, just keep doing it. If that's what they love, you know, there's just some horses that have that energy that they want to keep doing it and they're happy doing it. And I don't really see a problem with that. So it just kind of depends on you as the owner if you want to keep them going or if you want them to stop at a certain age, whatever it is. Just depends on you.
Passion and enthusiasm for the horses. And do you think that's something that you have it, you're born with that passion for horses? I don't know if anybody can learn the passion for horses.
I don't think it's really learned either, but I definitely think that once it kind of ignites, you just have to roll with it. I think some people have it a little more than others, but I think everyone that's in the Arab industry just has it. I don't think there's one person that I haven't seen love the horses. So I mean, if you love it, you love it. It's really hard not to.
Well, that would explain the enthusiasm of the
Yeah.
crowd at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
I'm
is.
glad we can get everyone enthralled with it because it's a lot of fun. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. Well, it's a joy to watch you. You're really a beautiful rider.
Oh, thank
You
you.
really look like you're just really part of the horse.
I try to have fun. It's hard not to smile when you're when you hear everyone cheering for you and love it as much as you enjoy riding it.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
So when I was talking to your dad, I think he told me that his father was into horses and he grew up with horses.
Yes. Yeah, my grandpa, he has his own farm farther down, just a few streets over. That's where we kind of set up our foundation. He did training forever. I can't even remember how young I was going out there and being with them and all the horses. He does minis and Andalusians now, so he's kind of out of the Arab industry. But everybody knows him for breaking horses in the cart. I think that was his specialty. He's really good at starting a horse in a cart. But yeah, I can't even remember how young I was when I started going out there with them. And yeah.
So your dad grew up with horses?
Yes,
your
all
dad,
his life. All his life. He's known it all his life.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing he's ever known. And he always tells me, this isn't a job for me, it's more of a hobby. That it's too fun to call it a job. This is a hobby for him.
Ramirez of Phoenix, Renee the Breeder by SF Aftershock and out of the wonderful BF. First Love, rocking out down victory lane.
Too fun to call it a job. This is a hobby for him. So.
But he never works a day in his life. If you do what you love, it's not work.
Yeah,
it's just a joy and a passion and a hobby.
Yes.
But it's nice to make money at your hobby too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Pay the bills. There's lots of horses to feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And when do you remember when you first started riding?
I officially started riding when I was 8. So I actually did the minis with my grandpa for a really long time. I just didn't really, I think a little intimidated by the big horses for a little bit. So I didn't want to do them. But when I was 8, I got my first horse, which is a Tara, KW Scarlet's Tara. And she just sparked something in me. I just loved it from the get-go. I started in Western, and from then on, I kind of just did a little bit of everything, and that was it. That was the start of it. I can't even remember when it was, but.
And you do all disciplines too, then? You drive?
Yes, I actually did drive for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a little timid, but if you have a good horse, it's really easy to fall in love with it. It's really easy to go with the flow of things. So.
And then you did Western?
Yes, I love Western. If you ask me my favorite discipline, it's Western.
Oh,
it's Western pleasure.
Cool.
I love Western pleasure. But English is fun too. I love English. Costume is a lot of fun for me. I've done side saddle, show hack. I used to do showmanship when I was younger. I think I've done everything. Yep. I'm not as good in the hunt, but I've done a few hunters. Let's see. I think I did halter once. Yeah, I think I've done everything.
Well, it's very cool.
I think our love for the Arabian horse is I think it's kind of untouched. My family especially, since we do it together in the first place, I think that definitely makes our bond with the Arabian horse a little bit deeper because we love the horses as much as they love us, and I don't think there's any other breed we want to be in. This is just the breed for us.